Well, we have two guests, one whom I have annoyed before.
Oh, good. Steve, you're the lucky one. You haven't been annoyed by Ken
That's
yet.
right. Steve Ziomek is here, and Rob Schwister, good to see you again. Very good. And
see,
we have
he's
a very
annoyed
special...
you. He doesn't even turn on your mics. That's how much he annoys you guys. We'll explain who they are. Do you want to do that? You explain who...
Well, no, you explain who they are,
I don't
since
know
you've
who they
annoyed
are.
me already.
Rob Schwister is with Alerus, president of the Phoenix Metro Market, correct? Yeah. Good morning, Rob. I won't annoy either one of you. Steve Ziomek is with, he's the chairman of Thunderbird Field 2 Veterans Memorial, and there's a huge inaugural event coming up on November 10th, which is Veterans Day.
Observed.
Observed, right, yes.
Observed.
Tell us about the event. What's happening?
Well, the event is designed to commemorate the rich history of the Scottsdale Airport and honor all veterans. Because very quickly or briefly, the Scottsdale Airport was actually built in 1942. Interestingly, with Hollywood money, Hap Arnold, Cary Grant, Jimmy Ford,
really,
Henry Fonda, all these guys.
Oh, wow.
And it was built for one purpose, and that was to train Army Air Corps pilots. They trained about 5,500 of them. Then after the war, the field was closed down, sold to Arizona State Teachers College, ASU. They had it for a few years, put a rodeo grounds on the airport, and then felt it was too far from campus and too expensive, so they turned it back to the government.
That must have started then right at the beginning of our entrance into the war, pretty close to it anyway.
Yeah. In fact, they trained 5,500 Army Air Corps pilots at Scottsdale. At that point, it was Thunderbird Field was the name, Thunderbird Field 2. And of the 5,500 pilots, interestingly enough, about 10 to 12% were female.
Wow. How is Alerus involved in this event?
Well, actually, Steve and I have been talking about this now for about 5 years. So this is really cool to be a part of it. Steve is a client and a close friend of mine, and told me about the history of the airport and what's going on, and I thought it would be a really neat thing for Alerus to be involved in, since the root term of the word Alerus means to take flight. And we're based out of Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Yes, you learned something.
Everybody knows University of North Dakota is very actively involved in flight training, et cetera. So a lot of pilots interested in our business, et cetera. So we thought it'd be a good idea for Alerus to get involved and sponsor the event.
Now, there's a couple things going on. First, Steve, I'll have you tell me about, there's a World War II pilot that's coming in that day. Is that correct?
That's correct. He's actually coming in a couple days before. At Scottsdale at Thunderbird Field back in the 40s, they flew a Boeing Stearman PT-17, a biplane. And the individual that's coming in, he's 93 years old. Wow. His name is Captain Jerry Yellin. He's actually the subject of a best-selling book, The Last Fighter Pilot. And Hollywood's actually doing a documentary on him because he is he's not known as, he is the last fighter pilot because he flew the last combat mission in Japan before they surrendered.
Wow.
And he was flying a P-51 Mustang out of Iwo Jima. He and his wingman flew over Japan, made their bombing run, and they saluted each other, headed back to Iwo Jima, and by the time Captain Yellin landed, the Japanese surrendered.
Wow.
Unfortunately, his wingman didn't make it, and so Captain Yellin's flew the last combat mission, and his wingman is the last combat death of the war.
That Mustang is an iconic airplane with that big growl painted onto the front of the nose. So
it really is. So Captain Yellin is actually coming out, and he'll be our honored guest and keynote speaker for this event.
Wow, 93 years old. That's amazing. And you're speaking Ken's language, by the way, with the airplanes, right? Like you could do this interview for about 3 hours.
I love airplanes.
The interesting thing as well is the day before the event, on Thursday, whatever that is, November 9th, we're going to be taking Captain Yellin up for his last flight in the Stearman, because our nonprofit acquired a Stearman that was built, get this, 9/11/1941.
Wow.
It's stenciled on the airplane. But we're taking Captain Yellin up for probably his last flight in a Stearman. And it's interesting because he actually soloed at Scottsdale in 1943.
My goodness. Wow.
Holy
this
cow.
is quite an event.
Well, we're going to get to the event part in just a moment.
Rob Schwister is here from Alerus, which means take flight. Is that what you said?
That's right.
Yeah, and we have Steve Ziomek here as well. And they're talking about a special event coming up. Are people going to be able to cut a rug and dance to some Glenn Miller music at this event?
Actually, it's interesting you say that because besides having Captain Yellin as the honored guest, we've actually teamed with DreamCatchers, Hospice DreamCatchers Foundation, for this event, and it's a big deal. Working with DreamCatchers, who, as you know, they're out to grant hospice people their last dreams.
Right.
And we're actually flying a 3-star general next week that is in hospice, and it's one of his dreams to be to fly in a Stearman.
One more time. Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, DreamCatchers, we've had the person that founded DreamCatchers on. She's an amazing young lady. And obviously we all know Ashley, and she does a great job putting this together. So let's talk about the event, because it's going to be at the Scottsdale Air Park. And these are kind of the new things, right? These hangar parties, they're awesome. They're so much fun. I've been to a bunch of them. And this one's got that 40s swing time feel. Guests are, encouraged to dress in 40s attire.
We might not even let them in the door if they don't dress in 40s attire.
It's going to look really awkward if you show up in like flip-flops and a T-shirt. They didn't have those in the 40s. Rob, what does the entire night entail? I mean, there's live music, dancing. What else?
This is going to be a silent auction. We'll have live music. We'll have dancing, food, and beverages. And,
okay.
In fact, for Glenn Miller, we've got a 22-piece swing band.
No way.
The Sonoran Swing is their name.
Oh, my.
And they'll be up on stage playing the Glenn Miller music, so you'd feel right at home.
Now, do you have like swing dance teachers?
My wife and I have been taking lessons for
okay,
6
Rob.
months.
That's not what I was talking about. No, I meant, are they going to be at the event? If you don't know how to swing dance by the time you get there, you're probably in trouble.
Yes, we do have swing dance teachers that'll be doing an exhibition and then teaching everybody. So the hangar floor will be a nice big dance floor.
It's going to be on fire, the floor, no pun intended. All right, so Rob Schwister, again with Alerus. Why don't you give Alerus a little plug? Website, best way to reach you guys.
We are
Step up just a little closer.
We're one block north of Frank Lloyd Wright on Scottsdale Road. Alerus is a full-service financial services company. We provide wealth management. We provide commercial banking services, mortgage services, et cetera. And we've got a team of lenders here in Scottsdale that have been here for about 7 years, and we're interested in helping businesses grow.
Cool. And if someone wanted to just find out more about the field, and I mean, maybe this event's not theirs, but they're like, man, Steve, I'd love to come down and just chat with you. This is more information just so Ken can go bug you one afternoon. But how would people get in touch with you?
Yeah, we've got a great website. It's very easy to remember. It's www.tbird2.org.
tbird2.org, a 501c3 nonprofit. You're one of the beneficiaries. DreamCatchers one of the beneficiaries. And is there a special website for the actual event?
The event, if you go to www.tbird2.org/swingtime, that'll take you directly to the page that describes the event.
This is going to be a lot of fun. If people are always looking for cool things to do, be a part of a charity gala, get out to the Scottsdale Airport and have some fun. Yes.
Yeah, a couple of the interesting items for the live auction will be a ride in an old T6 trainer, and that's a World War II vintage, as well as a ride in a Stearman from here up to Payson for breakfast or lunch and back.
Wow. Who flies it?
I do.
Okay, good. Well, I feel a little more comfortable.
I actually had the good fortune of being able to go for a ride
You did
on the
that?
Stearman last Friday.
Is it just amazing?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's a
They're
great
probably pretty
experience.
loud, right? Like
They are pretty loud, but you still feel like Peter Pan, or I liken it to riding my Harley at 500 feet because it's an open-air cockpit.
Oh, really?
And it goes about 55 miles an hour, so all the traffic underneath you is
It's
driving
going faster than
Faster than
you
you
are.
are?
Yeah.
So you're just kind of buzzing along. So how long does it take to fly to Payson? Hour?
40 minutes.
40 minutes? Okay. Oh, so not done.
Yeah, the people can get rides in the Stearman as it is for donate to the nonprofit, and we take them about a 45-minute ride out Shea Boulevard to Fountain Hills, out to Swirl Lake, around the dam, down the river, harass the tubers and the kayakers, and then back.
Fantastic.
That is so very cool. All right, so Steve Ziomek, again, tbird2.org is the website if you want to find out more about this event or just getting involved. And Rob Schwister is the president of Alerus Phoenix Metro Market. Gentlemen, enjoy the event. Thank you for coming down.
Well, before we need a commitment from both you gentlemen on the air. Will you be there at our event?
Yeah, Ken will be there. He's gonna. Well, he wants to just go.
I'm going to fly the plane.
He just wants
Can
to
I do
fly
that?
the plane. He has like flight sim. We got to get you up there. This is on. This we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, I worked in flight simulators in the Air Force.
Okay.
So the C-141 Starlifter, you familiar with that?
Right. Oh, yeah.
And the C-5A Galaxy.
Big airplane.
Oh, yeah, big, huge airplane. Yeah.
We'd probably fly the Stearman a couple laps inside the C-5.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I actually have flown Southwest Airlines, so. So there you go. We're all the same here. We're all the same.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.